Hi, I'm Sarah Williams, and today I'm sitting here with Marco George. And Marco is with Covenant Security Surveillance, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And tell me, what does Covenant Security Surveillance do?
Covenant Security is Surveillance, where our slogan is "In God We Trust, All Others We Monitor." And Covenant does a little bit of everything when it comes to security and surveillance. We offer everything from your basic home security system, burglar alarm, fire detection, to complete home automation, where we can provide you with digital door locks that gives access to the dog walker, the babysitters, or anyone that needs to enter your home when you're not home. A contractor, you have the pest control guy coming. Those type of features. In addition, we can offer image sensors as well as surveillance cameras for the home, so that that person that's away from their home can see what's going on. We can offer cameras for the concerned parent that is wanting to know when their child gets home from school, what their child's doing, who they're coming in with, who's coming in and out of the house, whether it be a surveillance camera or an image sensor that takes a snapshot and sends it to a smartphone or a tablet type device.
I would think too, it would be something that would be really good if you had an elderly parent in the home that was being cared for. If you did have cameras in the home, it would allow you to check in and see how things are going at the house too.
Exactly, and that's another use that we have. And also, we offer for the elderly parent that wants to maintain their independence. There's some features that we offer for a concerned child, for that elderly parent, that will monitor them in a way that's not intrusive, where we can do it with the camera so they can do a peek in on mom and dad, or with just the image sensor that takes a snapshot. So it's not always recording live. It detects motion. If you want to know, with an image sensor in the living room, if mom and dad got up out of their bed, once they come in that in the contact with that image sensor, it's motion activated. So there's that. We can put in sensors in the bed, under a mattress, that detects their weight. So when they got in the bed, whether they got up out of the bed, if they're normally up by a certain time. If they have a favorite chair, we can put sensors in that chair, and it can tell you mom or dad's sitting in their favorite chair. We can put sensors in a hallway, a motion detector, where if they got up, to go to the restroom and pass by that motion sensor, you'll know, whether they came back and got back in that bed. There's a lot of things we can do when it comes to, the elderly, and allowing them to have their independence and stay in their home, and still a concerned child, whether they're here locally or away, they can still kind of monitor what's going on. In addition, with the cameras, if you have a caregiver coming in, what we learn is people tend to behave differently when there's a camera around. So if there's a concern about elder abuse, things of that nature, and that goes the same way with a nanny
children.
or a child care provider coming in, and for a child care provider that may have a business, a daycare. This is a good thing to cover themselves from liability. It protects them if a parent's accusing them of something, but it also allows them to monitor what their staff is doing in a way that make sure that everybody's working
Right.
when they're supposed to be working,
And doing what they're
not
supposed to be
doing
doing.
what they're supposed to be doing. They're not playing on Facebook or on their phone or checking messages or doing whatever. The old saying, when the cat's away, the mouse will play.
Right.
So as a business owner, if you're not there at your business all the time, and you want to make sure people are being productive and working and doing what they're supposed to do, this type of system allows you to monitor the activity at your business when you're away from the business. So there's so many great uses.
Didn't you tell me too the other day that a lot of churches are now starting to come to you and ask about the
Yes.
systems?
Yes, since the Charleston incident that we had earlier this year, and they were able to apprehend that young man quickly because that church had a surveillance system.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, they saw what he looked like. They saw what he was driving because they had a surveillance system. That's why they were able to apprehend him so quick. So they knew exactly who they were looking for. his idea was to kill everybody and not leave any witnesses. We're fortunate that some folks survived and was able to tell what happened, that he had sat there for an hour. I'm not sure if they had surveillance cameras on the inside, but they did have surveillance on the exterior of the building so they could see who was coming and going.
Right.
And so they were able to look at that and with that apprehend him. And since that incident, we have done a host of churches in and around the Savannah and surrounding areas. We're headquartered in Savannah. We have offices in Statesboro and Hilton Head, Bluffton area. And so throughout all of southeast Georgia and southeastern South Carolina, we've been installing surveillance and basic security, burglar alarm systems in churches because churches are experiencing break-ins and, would-be thieves, whether they're crackheads, meth heads, whatever the case is, they're stealing, they're going after computers and they're going after sound systems. Churches spend a ton of money on their sound system, and folk are breaking in to steal those things and pawning them, doing whatever they would do to convert them into cash.
Right.
They're breaking in. A lot of churches count their money and don't deposit it until Monday. So they're
Right.
breaking in and looking, if that church
For
doesn't-
that.
for that type of thing. So the churches, businesses, residents, we have a solution for anything if they're concerned about protecting their property, protecting their loved ones. One of the other things we do with the Covenant, our Covenant Risk Management Division, we offer a very unique service to be able to protect and track those items if someone was to break in and steal. Because a lot of times, although you have a burglary alarm, a lot of theft in commercial settings is an inside job. And so without a surveillance system, you won't know who it was, and if somebody somehow gets by and gets something, then we have a way to be able to track items with some of the services we offer. So we have, when it comes to protecting your possessions, protecting your property, protecting the people you love, we have a solution.
Right. And I have to say, as a disclaimer, Marco, Covenant Security Surveillance, has put in a pretty extensive system in my parents' home, which is next door.
Yes.
I do have an elderly mother who has Alzheimer's. I do have a father who's going blind. We do live there. We have caregivers coming in and out. And it is a wonderful system. It's been great so far. We're able to use the keypad and come in and out of the house when we need to. And we know that when we leave the house, it's secure. Now here at Lucy Bell Farm, where we're filming today, we did a much more elaborate system, which has turned out to be great. And I can't, I couldn't have asked for better service, but here we have cameras on the outside.
Yes.
And that protects anyone who's here as well as me. If anyone should ever get hurt, we have the camera system.
Yes.
We know when they say that they fell down and they broke their leg, if we actually have the camera that says, well, you were swinging from the pergola, and you weren't supposed to, we have that. But again, though, if something should happen, we do know what happened and we can take care of it. We do have one camera in the hallway, and that's the only camera we have in here. But after talking with you, we did put that in the hallway so that if anything were ever to go missing out of a bedroom, or if anyone claimed, we could go back and see who came in.
Exactly.
And then on each door, we've got the individual door locks, which I can give clients a individual key to get in and out. So, and if something ever happens over here, I get a phone call. That's the other nice thing. I know if something happens over at Lucy Bell Farm because I'll get a phone call. So I'm probably a lot more elaborate than the average home, but I'll tell you, it's wonderful. I can go on my cell phone and I can see what's going on over here. I'm not intruding on anyone, but I can see, what's going on over here. If someone's over here that doesn't need to be over here, I can look on my phone, and where the cameras are located and situated, I can get an idea as to whether things have gotten out of hand or if everything's going okay. So I love it. I mean, I absolutely love it. And I love that idea even for an individual in their home. They might not need as many cameras as I have, but to have a couple of cameras in their house that they can, look into from time to time. A lot of people like to check in on their pets too,
That's another thing. You're absolutely right. If you have pets that you leave at home and you want to see what they're up to, and if you have a certain room that put them in during the day while you're gone, they don't, or if they have free range of the house, any situation we can, customize. And that's the beautiful thing about us. We have some basic packages that are cookie cutter, so to speak, where we start as a starting point, for every home. But then we can customize it, and we have something for everyone's budget.
Right.
That's what I love about what we do here. What Covenant offers, a lot of people ask me, well, how much are your systems? How much does this cost? I said, I don't know. The first question I ask is, what are you looking to protect? My system could be free with no upfront money, and you pay your monthly monitoring, or it could be thousands of dollars. Just depends on what the person's looking for, what they need. We have something for everyone. We have a system that fits every budget. We have a system that fits every need. The first thing we need to do is come and do a security evaluation. Before I even get into that, I like to talk to people, find out what's important to them. What are they looking to cover? In the case of Lucy Bell Farms, you were just talking about, for you wanting to be able to see what's happening here at the retreat, without having to physically be here, to be able to allow someone who's paid to rent the retreat center out, whether they're coming just to be here in the conference room or whether they're renting bedrooms. The digital door locks we put in, where you can issue them a code and put a time limit on when that code is worked without ever having to issue a key for them to unlock it. They can, punch in a code that you can go to your computer and set up and give them that code. That, that convenience for you to not ever have to physically see the person,
Right.
but to be able to allow them to get in and out of the room, to allow them to do what they need to do here at the event venue. Of course, I know you and your personal service and your customer service are going to want to greet them at some point.
Right.
But if somebody traveling from a distance and they're
Right.
checking in at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
they know that they'll be able to get in without you having to physically meet them, get up out of your bed and come from the other side of the property to come over here at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when they arrive.
Exactly. And again, what I was saying too, I want people to understand that by having the cameras, it doesn't mean that someone is intrusive. We're not
No.
watching to see what's going on. But I know, like for me, if someone's going to be gone at 1 o'clock, if I'm not here, I like to check in and see if there are any cars still out in the driveway.
Exactly.
If there's not, I can go ahead and call my cleaning person and say, can you run on over and start cleaning? That sort of thing. But if the cars are still there, I'll wait until they're gone and then have her come over and clean. So, there's just little things like that just make life so much easier. And
Yes.
again, how long does it take? If someone out there today says, I really want to do this. Marco seems like a really great guy, which he is, and the company seems like a really great company, which it is. I can attest to that. What do they need to do, and how long would it take to get a security system put in?
Well, from start to finish, you call me, I'll book you from start to finish. You give me a call or call the company. We'll have a sales rep come out, do a security evaluation. And then from there, they'll write up, whether it's if it's a simple system, a lot of times we can give you pricing and information right there on the spot and write everything up. And then it goes back to our operations side. It takes 2 to 3 days because we custom order everything. We don't stock a whole lot of equipment, but generally 2 to 3 days, depending on what it is, it could take, 5 to 7 days to get equipment in. And then from there, right now, we're kind of busy. So sometimes installs are 2 to 3 weeks out. If somebody's had a break-in, if somebody's, had a situation where it's an emergency, we'll move some stuff around on the calendar to try to get them installed as quickly as possible. Because
Right.
I know what it's like when somebody has, experienced a break-in or incident where they feel violated. Generally, I like to tell people 2 to 3 weeks
Okay.
from start to finish by the time we write the order up, order the equipment, and get my installers out. Yours may have taken a little longer because it was an expensive.
It was very expensive,
And so
yes.
we were back and forth to make sure we got everything right. But that's the thing. With our systems, we offer you a comprehensive warranty for the first 12 months, because if something goes wrong and we have to tweak, every system's unique, every system's customized, and depending on the services that you're getting, it may take us several trips to get it just right, or you may decide, I don't like the angle of this camera. We have to come out, re-aim, repoint cameras, things of that nature. We try to do that the first time, but that's not always the case. And we're going to do whatever we have to do to make our customer happy. And, that's, for us, the customer service piece is our biggest thing. We may not be the cheapest company out there. I will say that. We may not be the biggest company out there. I know we're not the biggest. There's always these big companies that have been around for over 100 years in this industry. I've been in the industry for since I originally got in this industry in 1999. And I've worked for some of the other companies, and I know what they offer. When my friend Scott started this company, he came after me to help him about 2 months after he started the company, and I ran from him because I did not want to do a startup. I did not want to do, and at the time when he came after me, I was being recruited by one of the bigger companies out there to come work for them, and I turned it away. I turned away from this company because I didn't want to do the startup. But I can tell you, this company is just a little less than 2 years old. The service and the way Scott operates this business, he's ethical. He is a Christian. He is local to the community, to this region. He was raised in Savannah, lives in Garden City. Until last week, unfortunately, he was involved in Garden City politics. He was a mayor pro tem. He ran for mayor, and unfortunately lost that race. But it wasn't a loss. It was a learn.
Right.
But this is someone that is connected to the community, and I think that is one of the bigger, one of our bigger advantages, because we're connected. I'm in Statesboro a lot. I run our Statesboro office. And I have a vested interest in what goes on in Statesboro, what goes on in Pembroke, what goes on in Savannah, and other Effingham, these other surrounding areas, because I have friends here. Sarah's more than a customer. She's a friend, and her mom and dad are like family to me.
Right.
Her husband, her sons, they're family. So I was concerned when we did the security system for the house, when we did the security system here for the retreat. I take it personal. I build relationships.
Right.
And so we're not some fly-by-night, or we're not somebody that swoops in, doesn't live in the area, doesn't care. You become a number, a name,
Right.
an account number. We just want your business. We're going to put in the simplest system and charge you whatever a month to add to our monthly revenue. No, we want to take care of people. We are about people, protecting people and protecting what's important to those people, whether it be their family, whether it be their possessions, in a sense of their personal property or their business, their employees, whatever it is. Earlier you were talking about the surveillance system and not snooping or prying on people. One of the things I tell people when it comes to surveillance, especially business owners, is surveillance is it covers you in the event of, we live in what I like to call SUSA, not USA, SUSA. I did some studies and have heard lots of information that a lot of people, their retirement plan is win the lottery or win a major lawsuit.
Okay.
So if you're a business owner and people think you have money, they'll fabricate things. I slipped and fall. There's people out there that scamming businesses daily on a lawsuit, and the business owner he has to prove that it didn't happen.
Right.
It's the opposite, where you're innocent until proven guilty. With a frivolous lawsuit, somebody said I slipped and fell on your property because of this, that, or whatever.
Right.
In that situation, it is the responsibility is on the business owner to prove their innocence, or the homeowner. It could be a homeowner. Your liability insurance covers that if you have homeowners insurance or general liability as a business. But to have a tape or a flash drive with a video clip to be able to hand to your insurance agent or to hand to an attorney it's a game
It's
changer.
priceless, yes.
It's a game changer. It is priceless. You can't put a value on it.
Right.
Because, and the other thing is, when the person accuses you and you say, well, let's go look at the video, their whole attitude changes. Like, what video? Oh, you didn't know there were cameras up there?
Right.
Well, see, what had happened was their story begins to change.
Right.
Don't worry about it. We really, rather you notify them. Now we can do signage to notify you that you're being recorded, or we can put in cameras where someone doesn't know they're being recorded. It depends on the business owner and what they want. We can put signage up because a lot of times that's a deterrent. People behave differently when they know they're on camera, and sometimes you don't want people to know they're on camera.
Right.
We can do so. It just depends. We can, like I said, we have a solution for every situation. One of the other things I want to talk about that we did not talk about, we did it here at the retreat with the digital door locks. That's part of our access entry. But we do that in commercial settings. The digital door locks we did here are more for a residential setting, but we do commercial access entry. So that for whether it be a small business or large industry,
Right.
We have applications where they can have their employees clocking in and out by swiping a card to get in the building.
Oh, wow.
So for our large commercial applications or even a small commercial, if somebody's supposed to be on the property at a certain time, you take we didn't do their system, but my partner retired from Gulfstream, and with large companies like that, they have access entry. Certain places you have limited access. They're doing planes for governments and different things, so you have to have certain security clearances. We can do an access entry system just like that for a company of that size that limits access to certain areas, and that business owner can determine who gets access where. If somebody, only needs access to a general area and they don't need to be able to get in these other areas, then their card reader will be limited in the access. Those who are a little higher up in the company need to have access to certain areas. Then again, we can set those card readers up to where they have further access, so more than just here, the digital door locks, the access entry piece, we're able to do for anywhere from 2 doors to as much as 100 doors
Okay.
if need be.
Well, if someone wants to get a hold of you, which I think after watching this they probably do, they would need to call you, Marco George. And how does someone get in touch with you? Do you have a website? Do you have a Facebook page? Do you have a phone number? What do we need to do in order to get in touch with you?
We have a website. The simple website is trustcss.com. You can also go to covenantsecurityandsurveillance.com. That's our full name.
Okay.
But to shorten that, we are Trust, TRUST, CSS, as in Covenant Security Surveillance.com. Our phone numbers, our Georgia number is 912-272-4383. Our South Carolina number would be 843-575-8135, or you can reach us toll free, and that number is 800-953-1307. So you can reach us at any of those numbers, and someone will get back to you as soon as possible. For sales, you press the extension number there when you hear it. If you have a technical question, if you're already a customer of ours, we do have some customers here in the North Bryan area, and they can reach our technical support, or if they have a billing issue or something of that nature, they can call us. But we're on the web. You can see a lot of our product offerings there.
Okay.
And if you want to schedule an appointment for me to come out and do a security evaluation, or someone from our sales team to do a security evaluation, give us a call and we'll get you scheduled as soon as possible.
And tell me one more time what the logo is, what the saying is.
In God we trust, all others we monitor.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you so much. And I would think that there are a lot of people out there who are interested in this. I mean, once you start talking about all the different reasons you need a security system,
Yes.
When we started talking, I didn't realize all the reasons I needed it. And once I figured it out,
Yes.
I was ready to jump right in. So if you are interested, give Marco a call or go to the webpage. But can people request that you come out too?
They can.
Okay.
There's a contact me there on the website, and they can put in notes, hey, they can, ask for Marco.
And I have known Marco for a while, and I'll tell you, from the beginning to the end of my security system setup, it was an absolute pleasure, both next door and here. So I appreciate it, and I hope that the folks out there will consider at least giving you a call and having you come out to do the free assessment.
Exactly. It doesn't cost you anything for me to come out, to do a free security evaluations. And whether you buy a system from me or not, I'm going to, give you some pointers on how to better secure your home, how to better protect your home, how to make your home or business less likely to be a target of a would-be burglar or robber or things of that nature.